The Entertainment Press is an entertainment blog. The article titled, Michael Jackson, Celebrated as a King on Earth, was published on Tuesday, May 10, 2022. This video is an audio companion of that article. It reads, at the time this article is being written, it is the year 2022. It has been 13 years since the passing of one of the world's most beloved musicians, fashion icons, charitable philanthropist and all-around cultural phenomenon that was Michael Joseph Jackson. Before he was king, Jackson came to prominence as the lead singer of he and his brother's 1970s funk and soul boy band signed to Motown Records. There they achieved 4 number ones. The group soon left Motown and signed with CBS and Epic. After the release of their album Destiny in 1978, Michael released his 5th solo album Off the Wall in 1979, having released 4 solo albums prior with Motown, including Ben, which's title track became his first solo number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The album established him as a solo performer and produced 4 top 10 entries in the US, Off the Wall, She's Out of My Life, and the number 1 Billboard Hot 100 singles, Don't Stop, Till You Get Enough, and Rock With You. 1980 saw Michael release the album Triumph with his brothers before releasing his next solo project Thriller in 1982. Its title track has become synonymous with Halloween every year, similar to what Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You does at Christmas time every year. With number 1 Billboard Hot 100 singles, Beat It, and Billie Jean, Jackson became massive. The title track's music video premiered on MTV on December 2, 1983 and consequently revolutionized the way artists make videos for their music. He introduced his version of the moonwalk during his performance of Billie Jean during Motown 25 reunion special on television, thus popularizing the move and enhancing the dance genre itself. The album became known as the best-selling album worldwide in 1983, and became the best-selling album of all time in the US and the best-selling album of all time worldwide, selling an estimated 70 million copies. Then came his last album with his brothers, Victory, in 1984. His next solo album, Bad, was released in 1987, followed by a tour to promote the album and an autobiography called Moonwalk, and its film Moonwalker. Elevation to king status. In March 1988, Jackson purchased 2,700 acres, 11 kilometers 2, of land near Santa Ynez, California, to build a new home, Neverland Ranch, at a cost of $17 million, equivalent to $38,950,760 in 2021. He installed a Ferris wheel, a carousel, a movie theater and a zoo. A security staff of 40 patrolled the grounds. It was then that he garnered the honorific title, King of Pop, a nickname that his publicists and the media embraced. This embrace included a fan magazine dedicated to especially Jackson called King Magazine, or King of Pop magazine, distributed by a publication in the United Kingdom. The magazine's first issue was released in 1994. After renewing his contract with Sony for a then record-breaking $65 million, he released his 8th album, Dangerous. Its first single, Black or White, a rock song about racial harmony, was the album's highest-charting song, peaking at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 7 weeks and achieved similar chart performances worldwide. Jackson founded the Heal the World Foundation in 1992. The charity brought underprivileged children to Jackson's ranch to use the theme park rides, and sent millions of dollars around the globe to help children threatened by war, poverty, and disease. Following the death of HIV/AIDS spokesperson and friend Ryan White, Jackson pleaded with the Clinton administration at Bill Clinton's inaugural gala to give more money to HIV/AIDS charities and research, then performed Gone Too Soon, a song dedicated to White, and Heal the World, at the gala. Jackson visited Africa in early 1992. On his first stop in Gabon, he was greeted by more than 100,000 people, some of them carrying signs that read, Welcome Home Michael, and was awarded an Officer of the National Order of Merit from President Omar Bongo. During his trip to Ivory Coast, he visited the small village of Krinjabo. There, the local Agni people live in a region called the Kingdom of Sanwi. One of the tribal chiefs there made the claim that Jackson descended from the lineage of Sanwi royalty. Jackson was then crowned and actual king, King Sani. A festive coronation ceremony that included singing and dancing took place. He thanked the dignitaries in French and English, signed documents formalizing his kingship, and sat on a golden throne while presiding over ceremonial celebrations. The news made the covers of Ebony and Jet magazines. Michael spoke of his love for Africa. In January 1993, Jackson performed at the Super Bowl XXVII halftime show. Long live the king. His untimely death on June 25, 2009 at the age of 50 changed the world as we all know it for good. Michael left us and there will never be another energy like his. The Sanwi kingdom paid its respects by holding a 2-day funeral for him. Jackson lookalikes, dancers and more than 1,000 villagers gathered for his send-off. Tribe members even asked the Jackson family for his body, hoping they could give him a royal burial, but Jackson was buried in Southern California. Sanwi chiefs eventually found a successor for Jackson's crown. With this void came many allegations, among which came the criminal investigation and prosecution of Dr. Conrad Murray. At the very notion of Michael's passing, foul play was instantly suspected. Who killed the king? They all asked. The who's who wanted to know. The public needed answers for the loss of such a household name. A mega star who was an important public figure to many and loved by millions. Beyond being an entertainer, he was a man who, despite countless setbacks and pitfalls, overcame hatred, bigotry, rumors about his sexuality and false accusations just to spread messages of love, peace and hope while he reigned in the hearts of many subjects around the world. The king's crown and ceremonial scepter quickly went up for auction in Beverly Hills along with thrones and portraits of the king at Julian's Auctions, who conducted the sale. The auction sold pieces of Jackson's memorabilia, some which certain individuals claimed was signed with fake signatures from the king himself. Michael's crown was created by his longtime wardrobe stylists Michael Bush and his partner Dennis Tompkins, who served as personal dressmakers to the King of Pop from 1985 onwards, creating the sterling silver crown encrusted with costume stones and pearls. In place of the second star of Africa, which sits at the center of the imperial state crown, Tompkins sandblasted an imitation diamond with the iconic image of Michael's dancing feet. However, King Michael never wore his crown out, which adorns his MJ initials on the top. For whatever Michael Jackson was or was not, it is certain of one thing. He definitely was a king. One who was well celebrated in his lifetime during his rule. On June 23, 2023, a new and shiny statue dedicated to the king was unveiled in Shanghai, China 14 years after he was proclaimed dead to the world. It stated, King of Pop filled circle Michael Jackson filled circle 1958 forever.